Guys, it's me, Super Mario Jonathan here. And I know I haven't been uploading in a while, and I know that they shouldn't be doing live streams right about now, but I mean, I just thought, you know, why not do this? And so I am. Now, I'm not going to do a rant about the MCU. No, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to do a ranking on every MCU movie and film of all time. Now, granted, I will not be including the Fox or Sony or Universal Studio movies of Marvel because those don't count. And yes, I already know that Morbius came out on DVD, which I definitely will not count that at all. So, without further ado, let's begin. All right, so we're going to start off from all the way from the beginning. Now, it's not going to be Iron Man ish because that comes soon after. No, instead, it's going to be Captain America, the First Avenger. Now, this is definitely based off the comics back in the 1940s. Basic stuff because, war and stuff. Anyways, so what's the story? Well, it's similar to the comics, but it has a little bit of a taste to it. It has a little bit of a weird side to it. And if I say it on YouTube, I definitely will get age restricted, so I'm not going to say it here. But you can say whatever in the comments section because that would be very important to me. Anyways, so we all know what happened. Captain America is frozen in ice, and then over 7 years later, he comes back. He meets Nick Fury, and that's how the movie ends. And granted, I'm not going to count um, Agent Carter, Agents of Shield, uh, Daredevil, and other like series of Marvel that are not on Disney Plus, and I will not count the animated ones like at all. Especially What If. I'm not going to count that one. Anyways, so fast forwarding to the 90s now, we get Captain Marvel, and apparently this movie is obviously a feminism movie. Oh, right. I need to get the 10 out of 10 things. All right. So for Captain America, I'm going to give it a solid 5 out of 10. And for Captain Marvel, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Now, granted, giving this one a 4 out of 10 is actually my most honest opinion. I didn't like the movie. I didn't like how it was adjusted. I didn't like the feminism in there. I didn't really like the women becoming stronger than men thing. I don't like that at all. Although we would have had another Captain Marvel that was absolutely part of the Fantastic Four, No, matter of fact, how about we just start off the Fantastic Four second and then start off with Captain Marvel? Because then that would have been more seductive. Oh, wait. Fantastic Four is owned by Fox. So, yeah. Quick commercial break. Don't worry about the dinner, guys. I just thought I'd get by myself. Anyways, right, Captain Marvel. Again, it's a feminist movie, and I hate it. 4 out of 10. Like, even like Angry Joe doesn't even like the movie. I don't know what he rated. He probably rated a 2 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. I don't know. Probably didn't even review it. But hey, it's my opinion. I don't care. Anyways, um, what's next? Oh, Iron Man. Iron Man. Iron Man. Wow, this is levels of Robert Downey Jr., isn't it? Okay, so Iron Man is like the comics, but it's just I give this a fifth, not a 5 out of 10. What am I talking about? I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because the movie is so good. I love Iron Man. This version of Iron Man I like, even though I don't care about the comics version. this Iron Man I like. Now, granted, yes, Robert Downey Jr. is doing his own thing. It's not like the comics, but at least he has a heart of iron. How is that not agenda too much? Yeah, but still, though, I really do feel sorry for Iron Man being killed off. Like, why would you kill off Iron Man? You most money making payoff character. Why? Why? This is so sad. It's sad to me that Iron Man is dead. Think we will get Ironheart. But anyways, going on for Iron Man. I actually do have the Iron Man movie right here. Robert Downey Jr., if you're watching this, please don't be mad at me because I'm gonna say some hard shit about you. Okay, so likewise with this Iron Man film, I thought it was like a great film. I thought it was good. But at the very end, you got Nick Fury. Now, there could be a lot of issues. One, he's not white, just like the comics, and that's kind of a bad ratio stereotype thing. I don't mind Nick Fury being black. I don't mind that. But there's one problem though. Like some characters, even in this like Mark Webb universe, not Mysterio, Electro is black. He's not white. Now, again, I'm not racist. I'm just thinking that you should have casted like I don't know, probably like Johnny Depp as Electro. I mean, you could just make his hair like, brownish or maybe a little bit of like orange in it. I mean, hell, Electro had orange hair in the comics. Would have been better if Iron Man actually met the Fantastic Four in this one. Because there, you actually see that Tony Stark is not the only smartest person on there. It's Reed Richards. Or you could have had Reed Richards instead. You know, he would have been a part of the story too. He would have helped Tony Stark's armor as well. It wouldn't just be Jarvis. It would definitely be Jarvis and Reed. He knows all the mechanics. He could build anything when it comes to his mind. I'm just saying, man. Now, granted, it wouldn't be like the Fantastic Four logo because the Fantastic Four didn't exist at that time. Okay, it was just Iron Man and Reed. That's it. So, anyways, I give this Iron Man movie an 8 out of 10. Sadly, the actor that, you know, played Rhodey or whatever, sadly, he did not come back. I wish that he'd come back, but again, he did not come back. Sad. That's very sad. Okay, Iron Man 2. This movie, wow, this movie had a lot of jumping sharks, didn't it? I thought this movie was just weird. Like, don't mind me. I like the two villains. I don't remember the other villain's name, but I do remember like Whiplash. I think that's his name, Whiplash. He's a good character, but he's written poorly. That's my problem. So I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10 because of the whole weird gesture it gets. Like it gets weirder and weirder and weirder. Like honestly, every scene I've seen, they just get too goddamn weird. And there may be some exposition in there, I guess, but still, it gets too damn weird. All right, now we're gonna talk about Thor. This is a good movie. I give this one a 7 out of 10. Why? Because good character writing, good storytelling, and most of all, best villain of all time, which is Loki, which he's definitely my favorite villain in the MCU. Like, he is a top tier god in the MCU. Okay? He has the most craziest eyes, the most sadistic smile, and he has that sinister look. He is the god of mischief. He is the villain. He is the son of Odin in mythical mythology, not actually in the movies. But anyways, still though, I give this a 7 out of 10. I love it so much. Too bad there's gonna be another Thor movie that is gonna have Jane Foster in it. But hey, I get it. you have to have Jane Foster and everything. I understand. Was Jane Foster even in the comics? I don't think so. I don't think she was ever in the comics. But still, though, it doesn't matter. Let's move on to The Incredible Hulk, which is definitely one of the most cringiest movies of all time. I find this to be so goddamn cringy that you even added Abomination in this goddamn movie. Why? Why the hell would you add Abomination? You had the leader. You could have made him the main villain. But no, you just added Abomination. Now I get it, he was in Shang-Chi, but I don't care. I actually have a Shang-Chi poster, which I'll get to in a minute. Okay, so definitely the Incredible Hulk. I give it a 7 out of 10. Well, technically not a 7 out of 10. I give it more of a 6 out of 10. There are good moments, but they're too cringy to think of. Like, seriously, the Incredible Hulk style, it looks cringy as hell. So good. Now, let's talk about one of my personal favorites, The Avengers. My very first copy of The Avengers. Look at it. Look at this. This looks perfect. This looks amazing. This is how you introduce characters in the MCU. Now, granted, Black Widow and Hawkeye, they were definitely in Iron Man 2 and Thor. I get that for some odd reason. But here, they actually have great strategic moments. They actually have a good variety of moments that are actually good. You got the fight between Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, which will come later soon down the line in Civil War, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. But still, though, this was a great movie. You had a badass villain, you had great storytelling, you had decent characters, and guess what? You had to fight in New York. Now, most fights would definitely take an outer space, don't get me wrong, but this is good, and I enjoyed it. Okay, I give this a solid 10 out of 10. I love it. I love it a lot. It's fantastic. It's great. And I recommend you watching this. It's theatrical. Mwah, it's beautiful. So let's talk about Iron Man 3. Oh god, this movie I really love. But at the same time, I hate it a lot. Okay, so let me tell you about Iron Man 3. Okay, look. This takes place after the Avengers, basically. But let me tell you something. This version of Iron Man is fucking dumb. Like, he has PTSD over the traumatic effects from New York. Now, granted, I don't have a problem with PTSD. I'm pretty sure everyone has it nowadays. And I'm pretty sure still people have it to this day, even born with it. But still, with Tony Stark's PTSD, it comes off randomly. It just comes out of nowhere sometimes. And it just really bothers me. Like, I love Killian. I love that guy. But I don't like him saying, I am the Mandarin. Because we all know the real Mandarin is in Shang-Chi, which I'll get to soon. But anyway, still though, this really bite me off. Like, this movie really bites the freaking gnarl or whatever. Sure. Anyways, even a fake Mandarin is fucking bad. Like, why would you have a fake Mandarin as an actor with a camera? I can't even imagine. Like, literally, Rhodey and Tony point guns at him. Also, he's a fan of soccer too. I guess he's Italian. I mean, he says Olay, so like he should be Italian, right? It's not just Italian to say, right? I mean, I'm Italian, but all right. I give this movie a 4 out of 10. There are good moments, but there are so many bad moments that I just wish that this movie would have been over in like 10 minutes. Next, we have Thor: The Dark World, and I heard that Chris Hemsworth hated this movie. He hated some moments in it. He doesn't hate all the moments. He hates some moments. Now, granted, I thought this was a good movie. there was some good storytelling and some good decent plots, but at the same time, there were a lot of plot holes that needed to be filled. Like, for instance, I don't even know what to say. The dark elves are fucking cringe. They are so cringe looking that I cannot take my eyes off of them. They look like Nikocado Avocado if Nikocado Avocado was a fucking goth elf, I think. Are there like such thing as goth elves? I'm curious. Yeah, look that back up. That's seeable. Okay, so anyways, um, so right off the bat, Thor is clearly united with Mjolnir again, which I don't know why. This version, not Thor: Love and Thunder, but this version. Now, granted, I don't like the hammer. It looks goofy. It looks weird. Anyways, so apparently he kills the guy, and then the movie ends. Like, yeah. Now, granted, this really does face off the Reality Stone. Oh, did I forget to mention that all the Infinity Saga has to do with the stones? Captain America, um, what else? The Avengers with the Mind Stone, and then you got Thor: The Dark World with the Reality Stone. I can't make this up. Okay, what's next? Captain America and the Winter Soldier. This is one of my most almost favorite movies of all time. Now, granted, there are major moments that should be like, covered up. There should be like moments that should be like understandably understandable, but every single moment in this version sucks, and I just don't like it. Also, bringing in the Winter Soldier. God damn it, that's kind of great cringe, actually. Like you bring in the Winter Soldier like that. Like what? Why would you bring in the Winter Soldier like that? Like why the fuck did he have his own movie? Why did he not get a series? That's not okay. That's not okay. Now I know he already got a series like a few years ago, but but that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Because Captain America is not on the logo. It's Falcon the Winter Soldier, which I'll get to soon. Anyways, I give this movie a 5 out of 10. It's great. It's almost one of my favorite movies of all time. But at the same time, it's just something stupid. It just gets stupider and stupider every goddamn minute. It doesn't fucking end. And then we got Guardians of the Galaxy, which it's not my favorite movie of all time until the second one. But the first one was just okay. It introduced us to the Power Stone, which okay, that's good. But it did give off like a lot of industrial moments, like you know, her or I'm sorry, Star Lord's mother dying of a tumor, and then he's abducted by aliens, which is the Ravagers, and then like the whole crazy shit happens, but there's no plot holes, which that's good, but the story was just confusing. The characters were good, but they were kind of bad sometimes. And they were just way too many cringy moments. I kind of find this movie to be cringe. Now we move up to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, my favorite movie of all time. This movie is the greatest MCU movie of all time. I love this movie a lot. I love the character interactions. I love the story. And get this, it has a crazy villain that is related to a main character. God, that is just fucking good, man. I love Ego, man. Like this fucking villain. It's so goddamn good. Like his art style is amazing. The way he talks, the way he fucking looks, it's just goddamn gorgeous, my guy. Like it looks exactly like the guy from Sky High, which I'm never gonna get to because that movie's cringe. I love this guy, man. This guy was incredible. There's just one problem. He turns into a fucking planet. That's the only problem I have with the guy. He turns into a planet, and that basically is it. And I know, like, he was meant to kill off by his son, but I mean, you could have just let him live for one more movie. God, man, like, what the frick? Anyways, we move on to. Oh wait, I gotta give it a rating. Okay, so for the other one, I give this one a 7 out of 10. The last one, I gave it a 10 out of 10. And now we're gonna get to Age of Ultron, which is the second Avengers movie. Which I find this to be very weird. I mean, overall, it's a good movie. I mean, it's over 3 hours long, or probably 2 hours. I don't care about the length. But I mean, there was like good storytelling. I like the characters in that version. But the only character I never cared about is the Scarlet Witch. She looks and sounds like an edgy folklore. Like, I'm not joking you. She does sound like that. Every scene she's in, I feel like she's having a gun put up her head behind the camera. And the producers just say act. That's what I feel. Not Pedro though. Pedro as Quicksilver, which is a 10 out of 10 for me. I give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's it. What else do you want me to say? Oh, right, Ultron. He's fine, I guess. There's not really much to say about this movie. Like, there are good moments, but they're just lesser good moments, and I just don't feel like it should be worth it. I mean, Vision is okay, I guess. All right. What's the next movie we got? Ant-Man. Sorry about the Deadpool one. That is actually Fox. Ant-Man. This movie was okay. I find this movie to be a little bit enjoyable sometimes. It could be a little bit weird. It could be cringe. Don't get me wrong. It could be cringe, but at least it has a decent character to it. I won't lie about that. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. Anyways, let's get to Civil War. My God, this was the worst film. Okay, don't get me wrong. To all those people who love Civil War, I hate this movie. Oh my God, I hate this goddamn movie. Yes, I am definitely Team Cap, but I am never, ever going to be Team Stark. You want to know why? Because he is a fucking greedy bastard that doesn't care anyone else but his money. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about Vision. He doesn't care about Wanda. He just doesn't care about the Avengers. Just doesn't. He's out of character. He just makes me pissed off. I actually love this character, but now I hate him in this film. He is the worst character of all time. And freaking Captain America, one of the greatest characters of all time. He is so good. He is so fascinating. He's still good to this day. I don't care what anyone says. This version of Captain America should have been the greatest Captain America of all time. They're not even going to make a fourth Captain America movie. That's what I heard. But still, what the? Okay, look, I don't care about Iron Man in this version. I care about Captain America in this version. Now, introduced us to Black Panther and Spider Man. This version of Spider Man sucks. I love Andrew Garfield Spider Man, not Tom Holland Spider Man. What the fuck? Like, why? And Black Panther, he looks like a fucking goth. He looks like he's from a street gang full of thugs. Like, I'm not lying here. I'm not lying. This is so bad. I hate this. Now, granted, without the mask, T'Challa is okay. Still, this is bad. Oh my god. This is so fucking worse. Fucking Black Widow versus Hawkeye for the second time. Oh my god, this is so bad. This is worse. Oh my god, this is bad. Okay. Oh god, I hate this movie. Fuck it. I give it a 1 out of 10. Okay, what's next? Um, Black Panther. All right. Now, I'm not racist to any stereotypes out there. I think Black Panther is a good film. I think it actually had a better storytelling. And get this, it has good black characters. There, I said it. Sue me. Rest in peace to the actor that played T'Challa. Not T'Challa, Black Panther. Yeah. Rest in peace, my dude. You'll forever be remembered as the greatest Black Panther of all time. Anyways, now let's get to the main story. Now, granted, I did care about this story a little bit, but not too much. Granted, it did introduce us to his brother, friend, father. I don't know what family group Black Panther's brother is in. Like, I don't at all. Like, I don't know. He is the villain. I don't remember his name. Don't get me wrong, I don't remember his name. But my goodness, what the hell? What is his? He is a good character, but it's so goddamn confusing to me. Like, what? Okay, so you got like Blaster Boy or whatever. They call him Mega Man for this one because I can't remember his name. Oh wait, it's Claw. It's Claw. I mean, the White Gorilla is fine, but again, like, yeah, could be better. I'm just saying, man, could be better. Anyways, so I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. Yeah, that's it. All right, now Spider-Man: Homecoming. All right, so let me tell you about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the coolest character of all time. Now, granted, I was born in 2005, so I only know like, you know, pretty much Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but that was only Spider-Man 3. Okay, I didn't look at the 2004, 2002 Spider-Man. Okay, those are the last Spider-Man movie, and then I actually saw the Amazing Spider-Man, which is my favorite movie of all time, and the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is also the greatest movie of all time. Don't get me wrong, I did love the moments there. I did love the Electro and the Green Goblin. I love those characters. Now, granted, Homecoming is uh how do I put this? An all right film. It's all right. Okay. I like Vulture in this version. Okay. If anyone has a different Vulture, like their Vulture, then like I'm not gonna like them because that Vulture is not like Tom Holland's Vulture. That Vulture is fucking good, and he's played by Michael Keaton. Michael fucking Keaton. You do not want to mess with this guy. I swear to God, you do not want to mess with this guy. So granted, I give this Spider-Man Homecoming movie a 5 out of 10. Granted, this Spider-Man is okay-ish. I mean, he's too jacked up. That's what I'm saying. He's too jacked up. Besides, he's like somewhat of an 11th grader or a 10th grader. I don't even think, granted, like, if you're 18, that means you're a man. So, like, Spider-Man, he has to be like 18 or over, right? Right? I don't think there's no way an 18-year-old would. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought this movie was okay. Granted, it did have a lot of problems, but I thought it was okay. The plot was nice. I like the cute scenarios. I like the characters. I like the versions of themselves. Pretty good. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I give it a 5 out of 10. All right. Now let's move on to Doctor Strange. Now, granted, my mom is a fan of Doctor Strange because of the weird mythology and stuff like that. But all in all, I just think that Doctor Strange is a good character. Granted, he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore, but he was back then in 2016, I think. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. Granted, I already saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but I'll talk into that more detail soon. Anyway, excuse me. We're gonna move on to Thor Ragnarok. Oh my god, this is one of the cringiest films of all time. I find this to be very cringy because it really betrayed Thor as a buffoon. It really didn't give me the no, it just didn't. Anyways, yeah. Thor and Loki, they lost their dad and stuff, and apparently they have a sister, and then they go to some sort of world, I guess. And then weird shit happens, then the Hulk comes back and stuff like that, and all this crazy shit happens and stuff, and then the movie ends by Thanos. Now, granted, I will add this though, Black Widow. Granted, this doesn't fit in the Infinity Saga, but I do want to fit it in the Fantasy Saga because I know 2 weeks later she dyed her hair blonde. Cringe? I know. So I will say all the plot for this movie because I remember every detail of it. So I'll just give off a rundown. Okay, so Elena as a kid got abducted by Nazis, transformed into a Black Widow, tried to find her sister. She did. Tried to find Red Cannon, or whatever. I don't know his full name. She finds him. Finds her mother. She did. Then tries to kill the other guy, which is the villain, which is played by Danny DeVito, I think. She doesn't. Gets all Black Widows on her. She gets him off by doing the thing. All the Black Widows are free. Then all the Black Widows escape the sky flying building. Then everything goes to chaos. And then that's pretty much it. Okay. Granted, I did like the ending for Black Widow's death, which does set up Elena's revenge. Granted, I am not a fan of Elena. Fuck Elena. She is she is fucking crazy. Now I don't have disrespect for the actor. She's a nice actor. I like her. But at the same time, she was portrayed as a fucking mess, and I don't like it. I give this movie a 2 out of 10. Now, granted, the reason why I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 is because Taskmaster is the worst, and the villain is a guy, and feminism. So you know the rest. All right, now we're going to finally move on to the greatest movie of all time, Infinity War. Granted, this movie is 100% cool. Granted, there may be some gay scenes in there. I don't know if I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but at the same time, I could be right. Anyways, so let me tell you something about this movie. This movie is good. I love Thanos. I love the Infinity Stones. And I love how everyone gets blipped. This version is fantastic. It is a better version of Avengers. I give this a 10 out of 10. I give this a fucking 10 out of 10. Okay? I love the character moments. I love everything about this movie. I love all the characters in this version. This version is fucking awesome. I appreciate it. Now we get to Endgame, which is the most laughable movie of all time. Everyone hated Endgame. I liked Endgame. It was good. It had a good run. It had a good run. There was good time travel and all that other stuff. They got the reality stone, the soul stone, the power stone, the mind stone, the time stone, and the space stone. Like they got all the stones. And you know what? That's a good thing. And I like the battle between 2014 Thanos and the 2023 Avengers. I like that one. But granted, you would have added either the X-Men or the Fantastic Four or the Inhumans. You would have like, I don't know, add that in there, but you didn't. Okay, that was finally the Infinity Saga. That took me over 35 minutes long. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. Why? Because this movie was great. The only problem I had were the deaths. Black Widow, Captain America, and Iron Man. Like, instead of Iron Man dying, you would have had like Captain America die instead. Like, why? I would regret if he had like it would have been more. Yeah, I mean, it just I can't say more about this movie. All right, let's move on to the series. Now, granted, I will count um this one a series because this one actually is my favorite. Okay, so let's go off the fast one. All right, so I'm gonna start off with WandaVision. WandaVision is good. I give that a 5 out of 10. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I give that a 4 out of 10. Loki, I give that a 3 out of 10. What's next? Hawkeye, I give that a 7 out of 10. And for Moon Knight, I give that a well, I haven't seen the rest of the show yet, so I'll stick to my opinion soon. But once I'm done with like Moon Knight, maybe. But for now, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Okay, series done. Now I'm not gonna count What If because that's an animated show, and animated shows do not count. All right, let's start off with the greatest movie of all time, starting Phase 4. It's Venom. Granted, I know that's part of Sony, but Venom made it to the MCU, but then you're gone. But this counts. Venom, I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 10. It's good, but the acting is just why. Now we got Spider-Man Far From Home. I thought this was a good movie. I have to put my 3D glasses on for this. All right. Are they on? Yeah, I think they're on. All right. All right. 3D. Okay. Let me talk about Spider-Man Far From Home. This movie was good. I like it. I like the choreographics. Granted, it did start phase four, which okay, that's pretty good. Good way to start off phase four. Um, nice to see that this version of Spider-Man is being good because it's being almost like the Sam Raimi and the Mark Webb Spider-Man. Also being trying to be more refreshed, just like the new Spider-Man. Anyways, I like the Spider-Man movie. This is good. I give that 10 out of 10 because it was great. It is fantastic. I love it. All right. Next one. We will move on to Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. Okay, so Shang-Chi, I have the poster for that. I actually have the poster. I'm not wearing these. I have the poster. I have the poster for that shit. Look, you look right there. I have the poster for Shang-Chi. When I went into the movie theater, I fucking got the fucking poster. Okay, after I got out of the movies, that poster is fucking good. It is a great poster, and I love this movie, man. I loved it. 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. It's great. I love it. I love it a lot. It is a fantastic movie. Great choreographics and shit. All right. Now let's talk about the Eternals. I think that's it, right? Yeah, the Eternals. Also not that bad. I think I would give it a 7. Excuse me, a 7 out of 10. Granted, before that came out, there was Carnage and stuff like that, and fine, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 too. Okay, you happy now? I'm not going to talk mostly about it. All right, now we get to the greatest, the most theatrical movie of all time in Phase 4. Spider-Man No Way Home. One of the coolest movies of all time. And besides, I am going to Comic-Con this year, right? This year, and I'm gonna get my Sam Raimi Spider-Man costume. You're gonna see me at that Comic-Con wearing it of all times. I've never taken it off. I'll probably take it off when I get home, but that's besides the point. I am going to be Spider-Man, Sam Raimi version, baby. Yeah! I love this fucking movie. This movie is a 20 out of 20. The characters are fantastic. The story is good. And besides, they're going to make an unfucking cut version in this year, in September of 2022. Isn't that fucking great? I love this movie, man. I love this movie. It's so good. It's so fucking amazing. I love the shit out of this film. It's great. It's fucking good, man. It's fucking good. All right. I think I calmed down a bit. So now we will get on to the last and final movie for Phase 4, which I'll be talking about. Granted, I will be talking about Thor and Wakanda Forever, like probably next year. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Where is this going to take off? Okay, so Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was a good film. My mom loved it. I loved it a little bit. I love how they introduced Reed Richards. It's literally John Krasinski play as Jim from The Office. Like, I love that shit. Granted, John Krasinski did a good, fantastic man. You know, Mr. Fantastic. I love it. I also like there's a human there, Peggy Carter, and Black Captain Marvel. 10 out of 10 for that. Um, Sorcerer Supreme, which is not Doctor Strange, but I don't care about his damn name. And you got Professor X. Granted, I wish there was like Namor and Iron Man in this movie, but you know, since Iron Man is dead, yeah, so yeah. So the movie ends with Sam Raimi doing his thing. Granted, I don't know why Sam Raimi is a part of this, but you know what? I give this movie a 20 out of 20. I love the choreographics. It's the original Sam Raimi style. I love it so goddamn much. All right. I rated all the movies in the MCU. Now, what are my thoughts on the MCU? Good. I recommend you watching all these movies from phase 1 to phase 4. Now, granted, you might have to watch She-Hulk and Captain Marvel and Moon Rider or whatever, Moon Knight, and all those other stuff. But granted, this is great. I actually love the entire MCU. At first, I was more of a DC fan. Now I'm a Marvel fan. I love it. Now, I'm going to stop this now. Guys, thank you all so much for watching this entire video. And I'll see you all later. Bye bye.